this is kind of a strange experience. After playing the board, or to answer questions accurately, we're constantly communicating with it, and it was just kind of the thing that we did for hours a day. And we went up to the store, and I remember looking down at the floor of the car, and then all of a sudden seeing an object on the floor start to move across the floor. Yeah, even though we left the board and the thing back at the house here, it's following me, so to speak. It's coming with me. I live with constant, severe depression to the point where I would love to just blow my brains out 7 days a week. But at the same time, I was scared to death of dying because I completely did believe in hell, and I did not want to go there. Period. Point blank. Absolutely not. So what ended up happening was I just continued on, and a couple experiences that I'll quickly tell you about the Ouija board that are pretty freaky scenarios. One time I went to a gal's house, and I started playing the Ouija board with her. You know, and we put it away after a few minutes. After we put it away, the Ouija board flew across the room, which was weird. Pretty weird, yeah. But it got weirder. What happened was, next thing I knew, I am hearing breathing fairly loud coming from the corner of the room, which was just solid brick. We're in a basement. And it scared the crap out of me, to the point where I had to leave her house. When I left, I drove home and I turned the radio up all the way, and my mindset was, just in case this thing is following me, I do not want to hear that at all. Another experience is I was at a location and there was no Ouija board, so I made one, just flipped the board game upside down and used a pack of cigarettes. I cut out the center for the cursor, and I told these folks that, hey, I bet you I can control where this Ouija board, what it says, even though I'm not even touching it. And they didn't believe me, and I told them I'd bet them money. And so they sat at the table, they put their hands on it, and I controlled where it went. And my mindset behind that was, I knew when I was playing it now, it was very powerful, and even when other people were playing it, I was in tune with where it was actually going and what it was saying, and when I wasn't even touching it. So in other words, hello, it's called demon possessed. So yeah, so I bet these people that I could control what it was saying, where it was going, and that's what happened. And you know, I thought it was real special and cool, but here's the not so cool part. That night when I went to bed, here I am laying in bed, all alone, no one in the room, and guess what happens? All of a sudden that breathing that I told you about that I heard in that girl's basement, I'm laying there, all of a sudden I hear, talk about freaky. I cried out to God when that happened, and it stopped. But that was probably the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And that is actually why I'm, at this point in life, I'm not really scared of anything. Because after going through that, what is there to be scared of? You know, that was pretty freaky. That's where I feel sorry for people who don't believe in this. Most of the people that have experienced what I've experienced, they never got out of it. I really do feel bad for folks who their level of belief is non-existent, and it's only because of their experience. As soon as I've gotten free from that demonic force, that demon, my life completely changed for the positive. All that negative stuff left. The ability to perceive, hear things before it would be spoken, which, like I said, was only negative stuff. Some people call it psychic. That left me. And instead, I was filled with a joy, peace about God and Christ. And nothing can replace that. And this is like a million times better. I don't really have faith in this stuff. I actually lived it. So it's not a matter of putting my belief system on a limb of trying to believe something that may or may not be true. I lived it on both sides.